Hey everybody, I'm SJ. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Uh, I want to start a YouTube channel, and we're going to be doing a two-round mock draft in honor of the NFL draft coming tomorrow night. I'm currently recording this. It's 8:10 p.m. on Wednesday, April 27th. So we're just about 23 hours and 50 minutes away from the first overall pick. So I like talking a lot about football. So if you enjoy what you see here, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel for some more NFL content. Now let's get into this mock draft. I think I'm going to do a mix of what I think will happen and what I think should happen. And I'm not going to do trades. Trades are very, very hard to predict, almost impossible. So I'm just going to move along with picks with teams in their correct spots going into tomorrow night. So pick number one, the Jaguars. There's been a lot of talk about who they could go with. Um, I would go with Aiden Hutchinson here. However, I think a lot of hype has come in favor for Trayvon Walker. Trayvon Walker is a freak athlete, had an amazing week at the combine. He's a very, very raw edge rusher with a lot of upside. The Jaguars, they have Josh Allen on the edge on one side. They have K'Lavon Chaisson on the other. Two first-round picks over the last 3 years. Chaisson's a good player, just very young, hasn't really developed fully. Josh Allen is a stud. So getting a guy like Trayvon Walker in there to just wreak havoc in the AFC South, where the quarterback depth right now is not great. So getting an edge rusher for Jacksonville, I think, should be a priority. And also, they just re-signed Cam Robinson, their left tackle, to I believe it was a 3-year extension. So I think taking a tackle or anyone on the O-line is out of the question. Pick number 2 here, Detroit. Detroit just cut Trey Flowers about a month ago. I think this is an edge rusher. I'm going to go Aiden Hutchinson. The Lions, they're an interesting team right now. I could see pick 2 trading down from that. But I think they're a team that's definitely on the rise, considering they won a certain amount of games last year, even though they were they might have been 2-15 or 3-14, but they beat the Cardinals. They had a few nice wins, but getting an edge rusher like Aiden Hutchinson from the state of Michigan coming to the Detroit Lions, I think would be a big get for that defense. And they have a solid edge rush, or they have an okay edge rush. I shouldn't have said solid. Their edge rush is okay right now. Charles Harris, the Aquara brothers, but it can be so much better if you add in a player like Aiden Hutchinson, who is probably one of the more safer players in the draft. Pick number 3 here for the Texans. I'm going to give them Ike Ekwonu, or as it says here, Ikem Ekwonu, but a lot of people call him Icky. Ike Ekwonu is a very, very good run protector, or run blocker. I shouldn't have said run protector, run blocker. And the left side of that O-line is very up in the air in Houston. Laramie Tunsil could become a cap casualty, and if either this season or next season, I would not be shocked if they cut him or traded him. Probably trade him because he's one of the better tackles in the league. But Ike Ekwonu actually can profile better as a left guard. A lot of experts believe that. And if you get rid of Tunsil, you can just slide Ekwonu right over to left tackle. You have that left side of the O-line shirt up for whether the quarterback is Davis Mills or if it's someone else in the future. Pick number 4 here for the Jets. This is an interesting spot for the Jets here. I'm going to give them Ahmad Gardner, also known as Sauce Gardner, my number 1 corner in this class. The Jets have a very weak secondary. Bryce Hall, outside corner, 5th-round draft pick in 2020. He's a solid player. Definitely exceeded expectations last season. However, getting another outside corner would be a big get for this Jets secondary because you have Josh Allen, Mac Jones, who had a very good rookie season. And you're going to need to be able to guard some of those receivers, such as Stephon Diggs or Nelson Aguilar was in New England last year. But yeah, those are good players. You're going to need a number 1 corner to try to stop them, and Sauce Gardner is that. Pick 5 here, the Giants. I'm going to give them Evan Neal. Evan Neal's my number 1 player in the class. I think he's the best O-lineman. He's a good swing tackle. I think the way it goes is Charles Cross, who is the tackle I'm going to give to the Panthers here in a second. Charles Cross is the best pass protector. Ike Ekwonu is the best run blocker, and Evan Neal kind of falls in between there. and I think Evan Neal's just the best like all around prospect in the class. They're gonna give Daniel Jones another season, which I agree with. I think he's been dealt, um, you know, not great players around him, and bringing in Evan Neal to have him at left tackle or right tackle, and have Andrew Thomas who played much better last season. I think that will help protect Daniel Jones, and we'll see. Even if it's not Daniel Jones, who the quarterback is, there could be two tackles on either side that'll be there for whichever quarterback comes in. Pick 6 here, the Panthers. This has been a very, very obvious QB spot in most drafts. However, I'm going to give them Charles Cross. They need a left tackle. The Panthers, they're a very, very... I'm saying very a lot. They're a very good team, honestly. I think they have a lot of great players. The quarterback play last year was horrendous. Sam Darnold was great the first month of the season, and then I think he got injured, if I remember correctly, and the whole team just suffered because of it. You need a left tackle there. I think taking a QB here would just set them up for failure because you don't really have anyone on that left side of the line. Getting Charles Cross here, and then maybe trading for Baker or Jimmy Garoppolo, Baker Mayfield or Jimmy Garoppolo, I think would be a good move for Scott Fitterer, who's the GM of the Panthers. So Charles Cross, the best pass protecting O lineman in the class. I have him here at 6 to the Panthers. Number 7, the Giants. I'm going to give them a guy who really should not have slid this far, but it's just the way the draft goes. Kayvon Thibodeau, the edge rusher out of Oregon. He was the preseason favorite for the number 1 pick, I believe. He's a very special player. He's very fast off the edge. However, there have been character concerns, so he has been slipping down some draft boards. I think the Giants getting him to pair him up with Azeez Ojulari, who was the second-round pick out of Georgia last year, their edge rusher. Ojulari had a very, very solid rookie season. I keep saying very a lot, but he had a very solid rookie season. And bringing in Thibodeau to pair with Ojulari would have a very good pass rush in the NFC East, where there are good O-linemen. The Cowboys have a solid O-line, the Eagles have a solid O-line, and the Commanders, their O-line is coming together a bit, so getting 2 edge rushers would be a good get. Pick 8. Falcons are a very interesting team. I think I would say they're probably the worst team in the league, worst roster. Them or the Texans still. I'm going to give them a wide receiver. My receiver 1 is Garrett Wilson. I think Garrett Wilson's just the best all-around receiver. He's fast. He's a jump ball guy somewhat. He can play that X role. The Falcons were a team that had the best receiving core probably, say, 2 years ago, and then they traded Julio away for I believe it was a second-round pick, and obviously the whole Calvin Ridley betting scandal has come to light, and he's been suspended for the whole 2022 season. You have Kyle Pitts at tight end, great player. He's kind of a receiver, though, so getting him with Garrett Wilson for Marcus Mariota or whoever the next QB is, I think that's the right move for Atlanta. Pick 9 here, Seattle. They have a lot of needs. They traded Russ, obviously. They got this pick for trading Russell Wilson. I'm going to give them Derek Stingley Jr. Stingley Jr. was the preseason favorite for the best corner in the class. Had an amazing freshman year at LSU in 2019 when they won the championship. Has had injury concerns over the past 2 seasons. I believe it was his knee. Had some knee injuries, but he had a pro day, I believe, 2 weeks ago, and he really showed out. He ran very fast. I forget exactly what time his 40 was, but he really bumped up draft boards again. And Seattle needs a corner. Since Richard Sherman left, they haven't really had an outside corner, number 1 corner that can shut down these number 1 receivers in the NFC West, where you got DeAndre Hopkins, you have Cooper Kupp, and Allen Robinson now too. So it's a very tough division, and you need a number 1 corner to do that, to stop them, and that's Stingley. Number 10 here for the Jets. This is a very interesting spot. I think I'm gonna go with Jermaine Johnson or Jameson Williams. If I were the Jets, I would probably trade this pick for Deebo Samuel. Just get another receiver for Zach Wilson. However, you're gonna have to pay him $20 million a year. I'll give them Jameson Williams here. They need a receiver. Corey Davis, I think, has one more year left, or if he has 2 more years left, they're probably going to cut ties with him after this season. You have Elijah Moore, who kind of operates in the slot a bit, and he's a very solid receiver. Had a good rookie season, and now Jameson Williams, who's probably the best deep threat in the class, just great speed. Give Zach Wilson all the targets that you know he needs to be successful. And Jameson Williams is a very good player, one of the better receivers in the class, and I think he goes there at 10. Pick 11, Washington, the Commanders, the new Commanders. They traded for Carson Wentz, so I don't think QB is the position they address here. If they didn't trade for Wentz, I think they would have gone QB. Huh. I think I'm going to give them Kyle Hamilton. He's the first guy here on PFF's board. They need a safety. Kyle Hamilton's had a rough last few weeks. Hasn't really tested well, and he has slipped down some boards because of that. And, they cut Landon Collins. Landon Collins was kind of tailing off a bit. Wasn't getting great production last year. Getting Kyle Hamilton in there to kind of be that defensive guy and that guy in the secondary. Because you have William Jackson, you have Kendall Fuller at corner. Getting Kyle Hamilton there at safety, I think, would be a strong pick for Washington. Pick 12, the Vikings. One of the better teams of this first group, I would say. Same with the Ravens. You see them at pick 14. They need a cornerback badly. However, Ahmad Gardner, Derek Stingley, both off the board. Do they trade down here? I think this could be a trade down spot. Again, we're not doing trades in this mock draft. I wonder. I think I'm going to go Trent McDuffie, who is very high on PFF's boards. I like Trent McDuffie. He's a bit small, but he can play almost anywhere in that secondary. He's a very versatile player. Yeah, I'm going to give them Trent McDuffie. A good corner. Have Patrick Peterson mentor him. Patrick Peterson's there for one more year. You got McDuffie. You'll have Peterson. You have Cam Dantzler, who was a third-round pick 2 drafts ago. And he's played fairly well. Again, it's an unfortunate situation when you're the Vikings. You drafted Jeff Gladney, but he had a whole incident off the field, and it led to them releasing him. And now they're going to have to go corner again here in the first round just 2 years later. But Trent McDuffie is a very special player, I think. I don't know if he'll go this high in most mock drafts, but I'm going to put him here at pick 12. Pick 13, the Houston Texans. This could literally be anybody. With the first pick, we took Ike Ekwonu, so we addressed the O-line. Now I would think this would be the way to address the defensive side of the ball. And I'm thinking of giving them Jermaine Johnson out of Florida State, who wasn't really a highly touted prospect early on in the draft process, but then senior week came around at the end of January. He balled out, played very well, impressed a lot of scouts, and he's made his way up into the top 20 in most mock drafts. And I'm going to give him to the Texans here. They need edge rusher help. Jonathan Grenard's been an underrated player, honestly, for the past 2 seasons, but other than that, they have nobody. They lost Jacob Martin, who was the guy they got from the Jadeveon Clowney trade from Seattle. He's gone, and he wasn't really that great anyway, let's be honest. Jermaine Johnson, plug and play starting edge rusher for Houston. They have a lot of needs. They get an O-lineman. They get an edge rusher. Pretty successful first round for Houston. Pick 14 here. The Ravens. I think they're going to go O-line. Whether that's Zion Johnson or Tyler Linderbaum or Kenyon Green. I probably would say Linderbaum, simply because center is like a really big need for them. Although this might be really early. I'm going to go Zion Johnson. My number 1 guard in the class. He's a very good player from Boston College. I think he was supposed to enter the draft last year, but decided to stay at school, which was the right decision, I think. I think he would have been a second or third round pick last year. And this year, he's here at top 15 picks in my mock draft. Again, Ravens need an offensive lineman. Ronnie Stanley's coming back from his ankle injury, and he's had a few season-ending injuries over the past few seasons. So getting an interior O lineman, specifically a left guard, like Zion Johnson to help that run game. Um, it's a slam dunk pick here for Baltimore. 15, my Eagles. I'm an Eagles fan. I would not want George Karlaftis here. George Karlaftis is staring me right in the face. I do not want George Karlaftis. I think here I would go with Chris Olave. Need a receiver. It's simple. Devonta Smith can't get every target, and Jalen Rager's been a bust. Chris Olave is the perfect, like, kind of do everything receiver. Same with Garrett Wilson, both Ohio State Buckeyes. Olave's a great player. Bring him in here, pair him with Devonta Smith, give Hurts another weapon, and yeah, the Eagles have a much improved receiving core after that. 16, the Saints. Saints are interesting. I think I'm gonna give them Bernard Raymond is staring me down right now. I don't mind that. However, I think it's early for him. You know what? We're gonna go Drake London. We're gonna go Drake London to the Saints. I'm not that big of a Drake London fan. I think his ankle injury was pretty bad, but I think he's rehabbing pretty well. He broke his ankle in, I believe, November, late October or early November. He broke his ankle and he hasn't been able to participate in pro days because of it or any like testing. But a jump ball receiver, pair him with Michael Thomas. You'll have Thomas out of the slot, kind of, and Drake London as that big jump ball receiver. It's a good pick for New Orleans. 17, the Chargers. They need an interior O lineman, and they need an outside corner too. I was thinking Kenyon Green there. I was typing in Green, and I kind of thought of an outside corner. Slater on the left side was amazing last season. You have Matt Filer, currently a left guard, but I think you can move him to right tackle. Yeah, we're going to go Kenyon Green from Texas A&M. One of the more versatile O-line prospects, can play anywhere, really. He's dabbled at both tackle positions at Texas A&M. Was he that great? I don't know, but I think developing him would be huge. He's a good player. You can move Matt Filer to right tackle where he played in Pittsburgh, kind of more natural for him. It's what he played, and now you can have Slater and Green on Herbert's blind side. 18, the Eagles. Looking at the board here, Jordan Davis. Pretty easy pick for me. Fletcher Cox was re-signed after a very weird restructure with his contract, kind of. They cut him, then they re-signed him. He's only here for one more season. Hargrave, I think, only has one more year on his contract. Jordan Davis is a special player. He has high upside. Bring him in. Stuff the run with good running backs in the NFC East. You need that. I think that's like one of the best steals of the draft, getting Jordan Davis at 18. Will he slide to this point? Who knows? I have him at 18 to the Eagles. 19, the Saints. We just had them taking Drake London as their big jump ball receiver. Now, this is an interesting spot because Cameron Jordan's getting old. And Marcus Davenport, I don't know if they extended him. They might have. I think they picked up his 5th-year option. However, I don't know if he has an extension yet. Peyton Turner, they drafted him last season. And he hasn't really panned out. He was I would say a reach. Most people thought that was a reach at the end of the first. I'm going to go Devontae Wyatt. He's here somewhere. There he is. So 2 Georgia D linemen back-to-back. David Onyemata. Shy Tuttle, I believe, is the other interior defensive lineman, D tackle. Why you have both of them starting? Bring Devontae Wyatt in, shore up that run defense, and boom, you got yourself a great interior defensive lineman that'll be there for the next 5 or so years. Pick 20. This will be the first QB off the board. My QB1 is Sam Howell. However, there's no way he's the first QB off the board. I really like Sam Howell, actually, but it's going to be Malik Willis here. This is one of the more perfect situations for him. Mitch Trubisky, they signed, so they can have him play for a year, have Malik Willis sit on the bench, and and then Malik Willis will develop as a very raw QB prospect. But I think it works for Pittsburgh, and they get him at 20 without having to move up in this case because there's no trades. Pick 21, the Patriots. A lot of needs, mostly on the defensive side. I think the offense is pretty solid. George Karlaftis is right there. However, I think I'm going to go Andrew Booth Jr. at corner. Right now, the corners are Jonathan Jones, he's okay. He's very fast, which is a good thing. Jalen Mills is the other corner, who's more of a free safety type player. Andrew Booth can come in, be an outside corner. Has kind of slipped down draft boards a bit. I like Kaiir Elam personally better than Andrew Booth, but Andrew Booth seems like a Patriot. Pick 22, the Packers. One of the easier picks for me right now. Treylon Burks, Green Bay. They have to go receiver. Aaron Rodgers signed a 4-year extension. You need to bring in a receiver to kind of alleviate the pressure off of Rodgers, because the receivers right now are Sammy Watkins, Amari Rodgers, Randall Cobb, and Allen Lazard. It's not pretty. You need Treylon Burks, who can do a lot. He has been in the backfield, I know, with at Arkansas, and they used him in many different ways. So Treylon Burks is the pick there, 22. Pick 23. This will be where Karlaftis goes. I had my mouse over the draft button. Chandler Jones is gone. J.J. Watt, don't know how long he's going to be in Arizona, and who knows if he gets hurt. He's a very injury-prone player. Obviously great, but again, very injury-prone. George Karlaftis will come in, be that other edge rusher, and I think that's a perfect fit. 24, Dallas. Dallas is kind of in a position where they could go BPA. They could go Linderbaum here. Yeah, I'm going to give them Linderbaum. Tyler Biadasz is their current starting center. Solid player from Wisconsin, drafted, I believe, in the 4th round in 2020 because of injury. But Tyler Linderbaum is right there. Take Tyler Linderbaum, and then all of a sudden you kind of have that Travis Frederick replacement. And Travis Frederick was awesome. So, they lost Lyle Collins, Zach Martin. I don't know if he got re-signed yet. He might have, but you have Zach Martin at right guard. You have Tyron Smith, who's getting older. Tyler Linderbaum at center. It's a solid foundation. And then the rest of these draft picks can kind of fill in holes on that O-line. 25, the Bills. This is an interesting spot for them because they're one of the more complete teams in the league, in my opinion. A lot of people think they could go Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker or just a running back in general, whoever it is. I highly disagree with taking a running back at 25. I think this should be a corner spot, and that would be Kaiir Elam. However, though, Jamison Crowder's on a 1-year deal. Gabriel Davis had one amazing game, but we haven't seen a lot from him. This could be Jahan Dotson for me. I think that's the way I'm going to go. I'm going to go Jahan Dotson to the Bills. Why not get Josh Allen more weapons? Again, Josh Allen just got massive extension last summer, so that's going to kick in soon. You're not going to be able to pay some of these guys, so you're going to need to keep Josh Allen happy with some receivers, and Jahan Dotson is a great receiver, very fast, amazing route runner, and yeah, the Bills get someone to pair with Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, Isaiah McKenzie, Jamison Crowder. You get another great receiver in Jahan Dotson. 26, the Titans. Interesting spot here. I'm going to give them Devin Lloyd. Devin Lloyd's right here. I really think that could be a sneaky QB spot because Tannehill left a sour taste in people's mouths after that playoff loss to the Bengals, who went on to the Super Bowl. We'll get to them in a bit. Devin Lloyd's a very good linebacker prospect. I don't know if I personally am, if I'm a GM, if I would take him in the 1st round. Because the linebacker depth in this class is crazy. I mean, just looking at some of these other guys, you have Nakobe Dean, who's kind of in that same tier with Devin Lloyd, in my opinion. You got Leo Chenal, Quay Walker, Chad Muma, Christian Harris, Brandon Smith, Damone Clark, who even after his injury, I think is a great prospect. So, but Zach Cunningham and David Long in inside linebacker for the Titans after losing Jayon Brown and Rashaan Evans. I think that's a good replacement. 27, the Buccaneers. Donovan Smith is awful at left tackle. That I will say. However, it's not a need. Devontae Wyatt would probably be like the pick here if he was still here, or one of the interior offensive linemen, whether it's Kenyon Green or Zion Johnson. They're both gone. So I think this is a BPA. I think they could go Tyler Smith. He's a good run blocker. But I'm going Lewis Cine. They need a safety because Logan Ryan, Keanu Neal, both on 1-year deals. So you're not going to be able to pay either of them, I don't think, because Antoine Winfield's going to need an extension in a year or two. So Lewis Cine, solid safety. I was kind of against taking a safety in the first round other than Kyle Hamilton, but seeing the fit in I don't know if it's Cine or Cine. I'm going to go with Cine. The fit in Tampa Bay is just very good. 28, the Packers. This could be a double up here. I like George Pickens. However, there are some players that have fallen that really should not be here. Like Nakobe Dean, to me, he's not going to be a first-round pick anymore. I don't know really what happened. He's my number 2 linebacker in the class behind Devin Lloyd, but he's not going to go in the first round. I think this would be a good spot for him to pair him with Devondre Campbell, who they just extended after his shocking All-Pro season. This could be Nakobe Dean. This could be a receiver, George Pickens, Sky Moore. This could be an edge, Ebiketie, Nick Bonito. I love Nick Bonito. I will go George Pickens. Just double up on receiver, get Aaron Rodgers the help he needs. Because, again, you're not going to be able to pay a lot of players. Aaron Rodgers is on a 4-year deal now, 4-year extension. George Pickens, and who's the other receiver we took? I believe it was Treylon Burks. Got both of them. They can be there for 5 years if they pick up the 5th-year option. They'll be there for the rest of Rodgers' career, and they won't have to pay them an extension. So I think that's a huge plus to drafting double receivers. 29, the Chiefs. I'll tell you right now, one of my favorite players in the class is Daxton Hill. That's a perfect spot for Daxton Hill. Slot corner, can play a free safety or strong safety a little bit. Can play in the box too. He's kind of that Tyrann Mathieu replacement. I'm a big fan of Daxton Hill. I really like him. I don't really consider him a corner. I kind of consider him a free safety. And also Juan Thornhill, who I think is a solid player, had a very strange season last year. So Daxton Hill, 29 to the Chiefs. 30, this has to be a receiver. I am going with Christian Watson. I'm happy I got my boy in the first round. I'm a big Christian Watson fan. I think he has a lot of upside. And yeah, I see a scenario where they have him on the outside because if you look at his height, he's 6'4", and he is an amazing athlete. So he's 6'4". You have Juju Smith-Schuster in the slot. You have Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who's speedy. You have Mecole Hardman. I think that's a great group of 4. Plus you have Kelsey, obviously. And Edwards-Helaire out of the backfield. That's a good pick for the Chiefs. 31. They do need an interior offensive lineman, the Bengals. They did a great job patching that O-line together by signing La'el Collins, by signing Alex Kappa, Ted Karras. However, I'm not going to go with an interior O-lineman here. Kaiir Elam is still on the board, and he is a great outside corner. I really like him a lot. Eli Apple can't get burnt again. Eli Apple's currently their other outside corner opposite Chidobe Awuzie. Kaiir Elam would be a perfect fit in Cincinnati. And rounding it out in the first round before we move on to the second round, I think this is a QB because I think the Lions would love to get their hands on a 5th-year option for a quarterback. And I'll go with my QB1, Sam Howell. Sam Howell was the number 1 QB coming into this class, really. It was him and Rattler. And Sam Howell had a very good season. He's able to run, which is a great trait for a quarterback, obviously, nowadays. He's not very stiff in the pocket. And he's good awareness. So Jared Goff was serviceable last year. Like, he's okay. not worth the money that he's getting. So I think Sam Howell at 32 would be the pick. Now we're on to the top of round 2. Jaguars at number 1. We took Trayvon Walker. What we're gonna do here, I think, is take Nakobe Dean to play that will role in the defense. Either we're gonna take Nakobe Dean or Jaquan Brisker because they need a safety. Andre Cisco can't do everything. Interesting pick. Interesting spot. I'm going to go Nakobe Dean. Again, they signed Foyesade Oluwakan to a pretty solid contract. Pretty good amount of money. He's going to play that Mike role. You need someone that can play that will, and that's Kobe Dean to a T. Kobe Dean's fast, good in pass coverage, just a very athletic linebacker that I think the Jaguars would really love having. Now, the Lions. The Lions would have been a great spot for Nakobe Dean. The Lions are an interesting spot here because they took a QB. They have a few receivers that they signed. I think this could be a Sky Moore spot. I really do. And when you look at some of these other guys, I really don't know which direction they could go. They're not going to go running back. And now, at this point, we're kind of getting deep into some of the reaches at the top of round 2. So those are spots that you would probably trade down for. I will give them a receiver. I'm going to give them Sky Moore, solid player from Western Michigan, small school, kind of playing the slot. He's 5'10", he's very fast. So, Josh Reynolds ain't going to cut it. He's a good fourth receiver. You have DJ Chark, 1-year deal though, and then obviously you have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who really broke out towards the end of last season. Plus Sky Moore now. So you get some weapons for Jared Goff, or in this case, we have Sam Howell at 32 to the Lions. So Sky Moore just adding to that rebuilding receiving core. Pick 35 here to the Jets. We took Jameson Williams. We took Ahmad Gardner. This, I think, could be an edge rusher. I'm going to give them David Ojabo. David Ojabo would have been a top 15 pick, hands down, in my opinion, if not for his Achilles injury. It was unfortunate. He slides here to the top of the second. I still think he could go in the first. Will he, though? I don't think so, but he still could because he's a very talented player. And the Jets, Carl Lawson out last year, so they know what it's like to have an edge rusher that's very talented and sit on the bench because of an injury. They'll have David Ojabo sit out for a year. Carl Lawson's back. You have John Franklin Myers. Jacob Martin, I think, signed with them. So the guy that we talked about earlier. The fact that I mentioned Jacob Martin twice in this podcast is very strange. But it is what it is. David Ojabo, 35 to the Jets. Pick 36 here. The Giants. We had them going with Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal. I think this is a spot for Kyler Gordon. Or Jalen Petrie. Ooh. Jalen Petrie is still on the board. He can play the slot. He could play a little bit of safety. Darnay Holmes has done a solid job at slot. But, I'm going Jalen Petrie. Jalen Petrie's a great player. When you can upgrade from Darnay Holmes to Jalen Petrie and can play kind of safety, I think that's a great pick for the Giants because there have been a lot of rumors of James Bradberry trying to get traded or them trying to trade James Bradberry. It looks unlikely before tomorrow because it's already 8:45 about. So we got less than a day to get traded before the draft, but crazier things have happened. Pick 37, the Texans here. We went with, I believe, Jermaine Johnson and Ike Ekwonu. So now maybe we can go with Kyler Gordon. That's an interesting spot. No, I'm going to go Jaquan Brisker. They have no safety help. Absolutely none. So Jaquan Brisker, one of my favorite safety prospects. Bring him in. Eric Murray, not good. Not good at all. So you can have Jaquan Brisker replace that role immediately and provide a boost to the secondary. The Jets are up again. Had them go Jabo. We had them go Jameson Williams. We had them going Ahmad Gardner. This, I think, could be a trade spot. But at this point, just take best player available. They do need another linebacker. I'm going to give them Leo Chenal. CJ Mosley, I think they're trying to get rid of him. I don't know how they can, though. His contract is pretty hefty. And Leo Chenal is a good linebacker. And, going here at 38, I think linebacker's the way to go. Quay Walker would also be an interesting pick here, but I'm going to give them Leo Chenal. Pick 39, the Bears. This should be a receiver. But if you look at the receiver board, there's not really a guy that screams draft at 39 to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them Kyler Gordon, who I've been mentioning over and over again, an outside corner prospect. Pair him with Jalen Johnson. Boom, you got two corners that are solid. Jalen Johnson was a second-round pick 2 years ago. Fell because of injury concerns and has been very, very productive, especially after the Kyle Fuller release, which happened last year, I believe. So, got Kyler Gordon in there. You have Jalen Johnson. And Kindle Vildor, I guess, is their other corner. But yeah, that's my pick. Pick 40, the Seahawks. We give them Matt Corral. Matt Corral is a good QB. This is a weak QB class, but there are some players that I think stand out above the rest. Matt Corral is one of them. He got hurt in the bowl game against Baylor. I forget what the exact bowl was, but he hurt his ankle, I believe. So I think he slipped a little because of that. But he's a very good prospect. I do like Sam Howell better than him. I might like Malik Willis better. I'm still kind of undecided on that. But yeah, Matt Corral, Seattle needs a QB. Drew Lock ain't the answer. 41, the Seahawks, also up again. So we had them going Stingley in the first. We have them going Matt Corral here. Have been rumors about, there have been a lot of rumors about DK Metcalf potentially getting traded. I'm going to give Seattle Arnold Ebiketie here. An edge rusher, could be a first-round pick. Transfer from Temple, I believe. Very productive at Penn State last season. I think that's a slam dunk pick. You come out of the top 40 picks, basically, with Matt Corral. I get kind of them mixed up a bit. Matt Corral, Derek Stingley, Arnold Ebiketie. Prove that defense, which was awful. The defense is so bad. And you get a QB for the future of the Seahawks. Pick 42, the Colts. They got this from Washington for the Carson Wentz trade. Receiver, cornerback is what they're saying the needs are. I don't agree with that. I think they need a left tackle. And I'm going to give them Bernard Raymond. I like Bernard Raymond a lot. He's a baller. He's huge. He is 6'6", 303 pounds. So, perfect blind side for Matt Ryan. Pick 43, the Falcons. I think this could be QB. I think this could be safety. I think this could be edge rusher. Nick Bonito's here. Boye Mafe's here. But also, when you look at these guys, Ritter, Pickett, Strong, I'm giving them Desmond Ritter. Desmond Ritter has been a very interesting prospect. He was supposed to enter last year. Decided to stay at Cincinnati for one more year. And I think he would have been a fourth or fifth rounder last year. So I guess it's the right move for him to come back to school, to return to school. But here at 43, the Falcons, why not take a QB? Have Ritter, Mariota, the two QBs there in the room. And a lot of scouts have really praised Ritter. I think they liked him a lot at the combine at Senior Week. So Ritter is my pick at 43. Pick 44, the Browns. Absolutely, this needs to be a receiver to pair with Amari Cooper, their new signing. Now, whether that's Calvin Austin or John Mechie, I'm going to give them John Mechie. I like John Mechie. Good player. Was honestly the better of the Alabama receivers until he got hurt. But Jameson Williams really took advantage of him being gone and just went off. So John Mechie kind of gets forgotten about. I'm not forgetting about John Mechie. Like John Mechie a lot. I think it's a great fit in Cleveland. You have Amari Cooper's kind of that X. You have John Mechie that can do a number of different things. And then you have Anthony Schwartz, Donovan Peoples-Jones, a few other receivers that can get involved. Pick 45 here, the Ravens. We had them going with Zion Johnson last round. Here, Travis Jones is interesting. inside linebacker to pair with Patrick Queen, who I love. I love Patrick Queen. I wanted the Eagles to draft him over Justin Jefferson a few years ago, and that's kind of been an interesting choice, I guess. But Quay Walker would be interesting here. Man, this is a bad board if I'm the Ravens right now. I would not be happy with this board. And now we're getting way too deep. I did see Logan Hall. I kind of like Logan Hall, but I'm gonna give them Travis Jones, Michael Pierce, 1 year deal, I believe. Calais Campbell getting older, could retire at any minute, really. Travis Jones, right there. You can play him at nose tackle, and you're good to go. 46, the Vikings. We had them going Trent McDuffie in the first round. Here, I'm going to give them. I don't know if edge rush is as big as a need as people are saying. Danielle Hunter, Zadarius Smith, solid pass rushing duo. DJ Wanham is also another edge rusher who's been okay. Hasn't been that bad. If I was going to go edge here, I'd probably go Boye Mafe. But I'm not going to go edge. I don't know really what direction what I'm going to go here. Could they double up at corner and take Roger McCreary? I doubt it. Dylan Parham's here. If he can play right guard, if he's a right guard, he is. Yeah, I'm gonna take Dylan Parham. Ezra Cleveland, a left guard, Dylan Parham, a right guard. This could be a reach. When you're the Vikings, you just need players that can come in right now because this team is good enough to win games, and especially with Kevin O'Connell coming in, could be interesting. So I will go Dylan Parham from Memphis. Good interior offensive lineman. I'll put him there at 46. 47, Washington Commanders. I was going to say the football team. They're the Commanders. Got to get used to that. They have Wentz. This could be a QB spot. Kenny Pickett, still available. That would be interesting, I think. I don't know if I'm going to go that route, though. Trevor Penning, Tyler Smith, both here. Do they have a right tackle right now? I think Sam Cosme's kind of got that job, so I don't know if they're going to go with an O-lineman here, specifically a tackle. Actually, I have a suggestion here. Greg Dulcich. Pair someone up with Logan Thomas. Ricky Seals-Jones is gone. He's the number one tight end, actually, and with the Giants now, which is very interesting. But Greg Dulcich is my number one tight end. Very athletic. The Washington Commanders could use a tight end opposite Logan Thomas. Give Carson Wentz more weapons. Why not? Why not? Throw a shot here at 47. 48, the Bears. I'm going to give them Calvin Austin the third, I think, because last pick we gave them Kyler Gordon. This pick I'm going to give them, almost gave them Kyle Phillips. I'm going to give them Calvin Austin out of Memphis. Had a very interesting tape, had a very interesting game tape study against Ahmad Gardner, who obviously is one of the better cornerback prospects in this class, who we had him going forward to the Jets. Calvin Austin's a solid receiver. That's probably the last receiver I would take in round 2. Maybe David Bell, but yeah, I'm gonna give them Calvin Austin. Here at 49, I think this is a perfect scenario for the Saints. The Saints get Devontae Wyatt, they get Drake London, and now here you have 2 tackles, Trevor Penning and Tyler Smith, that could be drafted right away. Now the question is, who is the better pass protector? When you look at Tyler Smith, he's more of a run blocker. Literally says it right here too. 6'5", 324. So I don't know if Tyler Smith is the move. Trevor Penning is also a run blocker. But I think just getting a left tackle there would be huge. I'm going to go Trevor Penning. In most eyes, he's a first rounder. I'm not as high as most on Trevor Penning, so I'm going to put him there at 49. But a good player. I'm just not crazy high about him. I'm not crazy happy about him, but bravo to Mickey Loomis and the Saints for getting him at 49 and coming away with Trevor Penning, Drake London, and Devontae Wyatt. That's probably the best class so far from any team with the value at with their picks. Pick 50, the Chiefs. This is an interesting spot. Could you go Tyler Smith and play him at left tackle? The question is, Orlando Smith wants to get paid like a left tackle. You're not going to move him back to right tackle. He came to the Chiefs because he wants to play left tackle. So that's a big doubt for me. The Chiefs, we had them going with Daxton Hill and Christian Watson. I'm going to give them Nick Bonito. Nick Bonito, very fast edge rusher. I think he was like 35 in that range on my big board. I had him higher than Karlaftis. I like him better than George Karlaftis. I think he should be a second-round pick. If he falls to the third, someone better trade up for him. I think he's a great player. 51, the Eagles, my Eagles. We had them going with Chris Olave, Jordan Davis. Now, if you look here, the corners and linebackers are kind of my positions I'm looking at. Quay Walker and Roger McCreary. Also, Chad Muma is interesting. Man, McCreary next to Darius Slay would be nice. He played. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go McCreary. I'm gonna go Roger McCreary here because I think the linebacker depth going on still. Like you can get Christian Harrison the third maybe. Roger McCreary is a great player. Played very well against Alabama, against Alabama's receivers. I think it was Jameson Williams that he guarded. Perfect pick here at 51. Get a corner to pair opposite Darius Slay. 52, the Steelers. This is easy pick. Gave them Malik Willis. Now give him a left tackle. Dan Moore from Texas A&M last year. Not great. He's their current starting offensive tackle, left tackle. Boom. Tyler Smith there at 52. I don't think there needs to be much discussion over that. And also, great run blocker. Najee Harris going to have a field day running on that left side of the O-line. 53, Packers. Boye Mafe to me seems like such a Packer. And their edge rush right now is Rashawn Gary and Preston Smith, who they flirted with rumors of trading. I'll give them Boye Mafe. I'm not crazy high on Boye Mafe. I like a lot of edge rushers better. Like I don't even know if you cracked my top 10 edge rushers list, but Boye Mafe at 53 to the Packers. That's good value. 54, the Patriots. We gave them Andrew Booth last time. Now I'm going to give them Quay Walker, wherever linebackers are. Here he is, Quay Walker. Dante Hightower, old. Don't even think he's been re-signed yet, actually. They have a weird situation with Kyle Van Noy. I think they might have cut him again, if I'm correct. Bringing Quay Walker, good player, great player. Actually, I really like Quay Walker. You can have him and Andrew Booth as your two new defensive cornerstones, even though they have a very strong defense. Yeah, they traded for Mack Wilson. Mack Wilson, middle linebacker, or outside linebacker too, kind of, from Cleveland. They traded Vinovich for him. And Mack Wilson's kind of had an up and down first few seasons. So Quay Walker coming in there would be great. 55, the Cardinals. I'm just looking at some of these other picks here. Okay. 55, the Cardinals. We gave them George Karlaftis, the edge rusher, to pair alongside J.J. Watt. This is an interesting spot because I think the players on the board are, I don't know if they fully fit Arizona. Could they double up on edge rusher? I doubt it. Abraham Lucas is here. The right tackle right now is I think Josh Jones. I'm going to give them Abraham Lucas from Washington State. Solid right tackle. DJ Humphries, Abraham Lucas on the other side. Good foundation. Plus, you got Rodney Hudson in there, Justin Pugh. I'm definitely forgetting somebody, but I think that's a solid offensive line now for Kyler. 56, the Cowboys. We gave them Tyler Linderbaum. This is an edge rusher spot because you lost Randy Gregory. You got to replace him. This could also be an interior defensive line spot, even though I kind of like Neville Gallimore. I'm going to give them Logan Hall here. Kind of an edge defensive lineman hybrid. Good player. Fell all the way to 56. I think he would go a little bit higher, honestly. But the way the board's fallen, I think Logan Hall's the right pick there at 56. 57, the Bills, we gave them Jahan Dotson. This would be a prime cornerback spot. However, not as big as a fan of some of these corners here on the board. Zion McCollum, actually. I like Zion McCollum a lot. We're going to go Zion McCollum. Ranked 122 in PFF's board. That's wild to me. Zion McCollum is very athletic. from a small school, Sam Houston State, kind of rose up some boards during the combine. So a very athletic cornerback, pair him with Trey White. Trey White tore his ACL last year. They lost Levi Wallace, I believe, to the Steelers. Teron Johnson in the nickel. Gedzan McCollum play the other outside role. 58, the Falcons. We gave them Desmond Ritter. We gave them Garrett Wilson. Do we still improve the offense? That's the question. I think we have to go defense here. I just think there's so many holes on this team that you can't really attack one side of the ball. Kirby Joseph's interesting here. But I think you can just kind of go with the best defensive prospect available. And to me, I think that's Drake Jackson, who they agree with me here that he's one of the top prospects. Perrion Winfrey is also very interesting. I don't know why he's all the way down here at 84. Interesting by PFF. Yeah, I'm kind of going too far now. I will go Drake Jackson at edge rusher here for the Falcons. Just they lost Dante Fowler to the Cowboys, actually. Bringing another body on defense, Drake Jackson, who was kind of a preseason darling, now here in the second round at 58. 59, Packers, I will give them. They went doubled up receiver. They got Pickens. They got Treylon Burks. And Boye Mafe also. I think they can go Trey McBride, tight end. Another weapon for Aaron Rodgers. Why not? Robert Tonyan also had a bad injury last year. Was missed most of the second half of the season. So Trey McBride, good pick there from Colorado State. Good tight end prospect. 60, the Buccaneers. Kenny Pickett's still on the board. I'm gonna go Kenny Pickett because he's kind of the Tom Brady type. Honestly, he's kind of one of those players that comes in, wins now. He's probably the most pro ready. Like immediately, just walk right in and you can win games. I just don't think his upside is that high because I think like if you look at a guy like Josh Allen who entered the draft a few years ago, he came in, was raw but had a cannon of an arm and was able to become the player that he is right now, stud QB. So Kenny Pickett, I think, would be great behind Brady for presumably one more season, because the whole Brady retirement questions are all over the place. 61, the Niners, their first pick of the draft. It's an interesting spot because if you look at some of these players, oh man, Darian Kennard, if I'm not wrong, I think he played some right guard. Oh, 2 snaps right guard. So I'm kind of wrong. Man, Cole Strange maybe could go here. Dylan Parham, if he was available, I think would be the pick. However, he's not here. Do you just go to the drawing board, just get more edge rushers? This probably has to be receiver. I'm just going to give them Jalen Tolbert. Solid player. Debo's presumably gone. We're going to Jalen Tolbert. You need a receiver. Brandon Ayuk, Tolbert, Jawan Jennings, I guess, is their other guy, and Kittle. 62, the Chiefs. We gave them Daxton Hill. We gave them Daxton Hill, Nick Bonito, and Christian Watson. This could just be a BPA for a position that I haven't taken yet. Man, I still have Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker here. That's shocking. But hey, it's how the board fell and how I agreed with it. I like Zach Tom, honestly. He could play anywhere on that O-line. He played center 2 years ago. Like, he could play in a lot of spots. He could kick inside. Yeah, we're going to go Zach Tom, kind of that versatile O-lineman, kind of in the same vein as Kenyon Green. 63, the Bengals. We gave them Kaiir Elam at 31. If we look at some of these other Bengals picks, Kaiir Elam, that's it. That's right. They didn't have another pick. Man, edge rusher, Chad Muma, Wyoming. Boom. That's a linebacker. I was thinking edge rusher, but it kind of said that. Linebacker, Jermaine Pratt, Logan Wilson, Chad Muma. 3 good linebackers that you can have in that core. And then here at 64, rounding it out, Broncos, Russell Wilson, they traded for him. He's old. Russ is old. He's 33, 34, I believe. Carson Strong. Get a QB just to be there behind Russ because your backup QB option's not great. And Russ did have that finger injury last year, although he is not one of the more injury prone quarterbacks. So you never know. So I think getting a guy like Carson Strong would be the pick there. And yeah, that concludes the 2-round mock draft. I'll go through these. I'll scroll through these one more time. Just if you want to pause, take a look at this. Yeah, I think successful mock draft. Very excited for tomorrow night. I will be doing some videos on my reactions to some picks, maybe draft classes by team, maybe rating them in a way, or grading. Who knows? But yeah, if you like this, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. This is the first video up on the channel. So yeah, I'd really appreciate it. Like and subscribe. And yeah, the draft's tomorrow night. Very excited. Very, very excited.